Dr. Victor. Where you want to do it? Come, he's coming up.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rick Wolff's Memorial Service. My name is Greg Brown, and I'd just like to start our celebration.
Okay.
Bit of silence, thank you very much. I met Rick in the early 60s. He was with a band called Ricky and the Martinettes. The drummer was Owen Wolff. I'm glad to see Owen here.
Yeah, Owen.
Owen was 11 years old. He was the youngest and hottest drummer in Pretoria. In any event, then Rick went overseas, and for a long time I never saw Rick. And it was in the early or mid 80s, Rick had come back. That's after he played with many bands. And I was one of the first guys to bring MIDI interfaces and MIDI software into the country. At that time, Rick was using an MC500 sequencer. So I introduced him to a computer program. His name was Voyager. And I set him up with a MIDI interface, and I showed him his way. I told him this is the way to go. But he'd already done all his stuff on the MC500. So he invited me to be part of Mark Alex's first production. And I was the MIDI programmer and the sound design programmer. I designed programmed all the sounds that they used, including the bass sound on Quick. All right. Then Rick and I connected immediately. But it wasn't musically. It was something else. We connected spiritually, for want of a better word, or metaphysically, because he always wanted to know what this is all about, what this universe is all about, who we are, where we're going, where we come from, what it's all about. The term we used was the greater cosmic consciousness. And both him and I tapped into this greater cosmic consciousness, and we had very, very many discussions. Rick was into meditation, he was into yoga, he was into special dieting to prepare himself. And then one day I said to him, Rick, I heard that you have taken up a course it was called Structured Basics on the computer, on the DOS program. I said, do me a favor and just write a little program for me. I want to test something. And he said, what do you want to test? I said, look, if you assign numbers to the alphabet, A, B, C, you're going right through to the 26 on Z, and you assign them a 7, and then B is 2 times 7, C is 3 times 7. I said, if you put in the word computer, and that wasn't 7, it was 6 that we were going to assign. Sorry, 6. It has to be a multiple of 6. I said, computer will come out as 666. And he said, really? I said, yeah, let's do it. I've done it already. I've calculated. So he did this. And it was 666. Wow. So I said, but that's just a coincidence. There are a lot of other 666s that I found. For example, Eugene Ter Blanche. Yeah. If you put in Ter Blanche, it was also 666. Okay. But he gave me the program, and then I started playing with it. And the next session, he came to my house. I said, Rick, there's something weird here. I've never got into numerology, but there is something spooky almost, if I can use that word, about this. I said, come and have a look here. You wrote the program. We'll assign 666, and I'm going to put in some words. And he said, yeah, well, let's go. So I put in Jesus. And it was 444. And I said, Jesus was Jewish. And I put in Jewish, and it was 444. I said, and he rode a donkey. And I put in donkey and it was 444. And I said he was known as the Messiah. And it was 444, the same number. I said, is this coincidence? I said, most probably it is. But let me try something else. I put in Holy Spirit. And it came out a certain number. It wasn't 444, it was like maybe 692 or something. And I put in Holy Spirit and I put in Jesus Christ. It was the exact same number. And then I put the Holy Father and it was the exact same number.
It was 999.
Okay. And I said, Rick, I'm stopping you. We both went cold. I said, you can pursue this. I'm not pursuing this, but I still think there's an element of coincidence here, but it's very interesting. Okay, Rick carried on with this, always searching, always intrigued, always asking questions, not musical questions. It was always about the universe. Who are we? Then he got involved with Kundalini. I think that's the word he used.
Kundalini.
Kundalini.
Yes.
Okay. Where you channel the energy right up your spine, your energy right up into your head, and you basically expand your consciousness and you engage with the other side. You would always talk about the light. Now, at that stage, Rick also decided he's going to be celibate. And I don't mean he's going to celibate here and celibate there. No, he's going to be celibate. So he said, no, he wants to really, really get into this. And I said, how's it going, Rick? And he said, no, amazing. He's had some amazing experiences. And then one day he phoned me, he said, I've got to see you. I need your help. I said, why? He said, hey, it's not just light on the other side. There's a lot of darkness. I had a terrible experience. He says, if you go out there, channeling this energy and becoming one with the Creator or with the universe, he says, if you're not prepared, you can have a train smash. And then my brother's a psychologist, and he gave him some guidance. And okay, enough about Rick and the greater cosmic consciousness. After that, about 10 years ago, Rick phoned me, and he said to me, he's too old to visit anymore. He doesn't trust himself driving anymore. So we never saw each other too frequently. And he was also involved with the studio. And, that's my relation with Rick. He did send me a message recently when he was in the hospital. Spanny said to him, say hello to Greg. And he said, hello, Greg. He said, come here. I want to bash you over the head. I don't know why. Maybe because I'd introduced him and posed many questions. But in any event, I think we need to give a special thanks to Steve Spangenberg for taking care of Rick and his family as well, for looking after Rick. It's been a very, very tough experience. I engaged with Spanny a lot over the last 2 months. And it is very sad that we actually never got a proper diagnosis. I don't know if any of you are familiar, but if I can reveal this, Spanny, the doctor said he died because he was in hospital too long. He contracted septicemia. Can you believe it? That is so sad. That is so sad. Okay, so now I would like to, something else I need to tell you. Rick didn't have a cremation. He had something called an aquamation. That's water. Instead of you using, fire, you use water. So, it's some sort of hydraulic process, water, they use some sort of alkaline hydrolysis. And then it basically, all that is left eventually are your bones, which are also basically crushed like ashes. And I think Steve will be receiving them soon. Have you got them yet, Steve? Not yet.
Tomorrow.
They'll come tomorrow. And any of you want a few, as of Rick, you're more than welcome. Now, when Steve said to me, it's aquamation. Now, aqua means water, of course. This is a water process, a hydro process. So I said, oh, that's uncanny. I wrote a number called melodic rain. Okay. And I'd like Gavin now just to play it to you people. This is my tribute to Rick. Yes, I played everything.
It's not real.
Okay, thank you, Rick. If you're listening, that's for you.
Amazing. Very nice. Amazing. Very nice.
Okay, now before I call on anybody here to say a few words, I'd just like us all to bow our heads, and I just got a short prayer. Eternal rest grant to Rick Wolff, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. May his soul rest in peace. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, would you like to come up? Mark? Okay. This is Mark from Mark Alex, my bad brother. Reko pani lili lapa, rigitika mo Mark.
Thanks. I'd like to say a few words on Rick. Rick was a good friend. Very, very good friend. He saw in us what a lot of people didn't see. A lot of people. King Holly says, yeah. Can it be that big today? Anyway, he allowed us to play in his studio because he saw that there's something within us, with me and Alex. And in that way, we became a little bigger, and we recorded an album with him called, it actually didn't have a title, it was just Mark Alex, first album. And in that album we had Quick, our biggest hit, you know, because other albums did follow and did well, but nothing like the first one. First one was really good. And we went overseas, we did a lot of things through Rick, because he was a good producer, produced good music, and our music became really good because he was involved. And I really miss him, you know, and I wanted to visit him. I got help by a few things here and there, but I thought I was going to visit him and reach him just before. But it just didn't happen. I really liked the guy. I really liked the guy. And may he rest in peace. May he rest in peace.
Thank you, Mark. Kunai, would you like to say something?
Hi everybody, I'm Kalei, singer and recording artist. But to Rick, to me, Rick was basically one of my best friends, if not my best friend, because I'm a very spiritual person, and that's what I found very intriguing about Rick. We also had loads of conversations. When I was with Rick, I felt like I could understand. There's somebody who understands me, and I understand him. And often, I got distracted from the project, and we had to come back to projects that we were doing, because we had so much fun talking about the universe, about spirituality, and also he's shown me some of his yoga exercises, how he maintained his youth all those years and positive mind. He wouldn't let me record him, unfortunately, otherwise I definitely would have had a hit release and probably looked much better as well. But I'm still applying the exercises that Rick taught me, the breath work. One of the most important things that I learned was when I got the first time when I was recording, I remember standing there really concentrating, and I want to sing now. And Rick said to me as I was singing, "No, sweetie," he always called me sweetie, and he said, "You can't sing by just standing. Everything doesn't come out of your voice. You have to relax your whole body. You've got to move." And since then, he's actually given me that confidence, because I realized that sound and music, it doesn't just come from the voice or the mind and caring about what others think of you. It comes from your entire being, from your spirit, every single cell in your body. So he gave me that confidence to just actually be myself, and in a way, find a lot of pieces of myself that I didn't know. So Rick has contributed a lot to my career, but even more so to myself as a spiritual being, and I really appreciate that. One thing that came to mind this morning was people always ask you, "Oh, isn't it terrible? We get old and then we die, and we get wrinkles and we die." No. As we get older, it's actually a gift. When people see your face and they see that you're not looking as youthful, there's lines on your face, there's things that you've done, that it forces the other person to look beyond and to look within each person and to see more. There's so much we can learn from one another. And we are all on a great spiritual journey. That's why we are here. So I just pray and hope that everybody will remember Rick, not just for his wonderful skill, even after he could not hear or see properly after he had the Bell's palsy, that he gave a gift to each one of us every time. With his reassurance, his enthusiasm, his willingness to do the project no matter what we wanted to do, and he could perceive what ideas I had, he could put it into music. I think that's absolutely amazing, and make it even better. He didn't say to me like a lot of people, "You're crazy, you want to sing that, you want to do that." No, Rick in many ways was my best friend, and like a parent and a spiritual master. And I know he's at peace now. I know Rick is here listening to us, if I'm crazy, but that's how I feel. And I will always feel that I will carry him within my heart and everything that I've learned from him and all the wonderful experiences. So I'm saying thank you very much, Rick. Thank you to the greater universe for having this person and this wonderful spirit in my life.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kunai. And thank you for reminding us that we shouldn't allow our inner spiritual awareness to be smothered by visual appeal. I'd add to that, we shouldn't allow our inner spiritual awareness to be smothered by visual appeal, material grandeur, social status, political affiliation, academic qualifications, or musical competencies. Okay, anybody else like to come up? Thank you. Andre, all right.
Hello everybody. So how I met Rick was that my sister and I, at the grand old age of like in our 60s, we decided we're going to make a CD because we were kids and we sang when we were 12 and 13. We used to go on tour with people like Groep 2 and we were the Atang sisters. And so I went on a career, very different things on stage and various things. And my sister took a different route. And then 50 years later, we decided, shit man, we must bring out our guitars and start playing again. So as two old hippies, we put together some songs, practiced them like mad. We went to a music teacher to learn to play the guitar again and to play it properly this time. And her name was Joanna Cherny. And she said to us, well, girls, if you're wanting to record a CD, I know just the right guy. He will understand that you're not the best in the world, but that you really want to do this. So she was introducing us to him. And the day that she spoke about him, a ladybird came and sat on our music stand. And we said, oh, this is a good omen. I think this guy's going to be the right guy. Okay? So then off we went and to do all our things, and we had to go for an audition because I can think Rick is singing, hierdie ou dames, wat gaan hulle nou doen, you know. And so we came there with our guitars and we started practicing in front of him, showing what he says, you girls can sing. He didn't mention the guitar, but anyway. We knew we could gooi because we've been gooiing since we were little. And so he said, okay, fine, he's going to put us in the studio and we can try something out. And as we went to the studio, he had his screen, where he had all his music stuff that he was always working on. And on the screen was a ladybird.
Wow.
And Jen and I said, my God, this guy is our type of chap, hey? So we said to him, Rick, tentatively we said to him, did you choose to put the ladybird here? He says, no, girls, I don't know where this bloody ladybird comes from. I haven't seen it here before. It's not even supposed to be here. I'm doing these notes here, and I don't know what it's doing here. And we said, oh, well, we told him the story about the ladybird. So he said, no, there's definitely something more to this than just the ladybird. And we became very, very, very good friends. And we recorded our little CD called Forever Young, which we used to sell at all our millions of concerts for the aged. So we'd go and entertain all the people who were older than us. And we had a jolly good time. But we had a wonderful spiritual connection with each other. And we used to have long conversations about, just like Colleen said, about the universe, about our spirits, who we were, where we're going, what the hell we're doing here. All those wonderful conversations. And he gave me a beautiful book of his art, and I treasure it dearly because the hours and hours to make that book, I brought it along in case any of you would like to see it.
Yes, please.
It's absolutely magnificent. His precision and his mind of being able to be a mathematically genius type of person who could, they say art and maths and music are all very, very, connected. And there he used to do these wonderful paintings. And because of this wonderful connection, when Rick passed away, and Jenny and I were great friends of his right until the end, I decided that I'd write him a poem. And this is a poem for you, Rick. It's a very long poem, so you better hang around, guys. It's 4 lines. I came from everything and all there is. I came to the soul to experience this. My inner music sets me free. Now I am one with infinity for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
Yes, anybody else like to say something? Owen, would you like to say something?
Very brief.
Owen is the 11-year-old drummer with Rick Wolff, who was about 17, eh? Yeah.
I'd just like to say he was one of the most talented people I knew that I ever met. And I remember as an 11-year-old, as Rick says, how I looked up to him being the lead singer in the band, and I had so much respect for him. And then when I met him in later years, I realized how really talented he was compared to when I was a young drummer who was looking at the big boys, playing with the big boys. My parents used to tell them, you have to come and fetch him, you have to bring him home. They used to take, my mom used to give him my car keys, her car keys, so he could drive us there, and to the gig and bring us home. And I remember a funny story. Once we did a gig. That was the day I met Billy Forrest, who I'm still friends with to this day. I recorded Billy as a recording engineer for many years, and I met him I met Bill at the Downstairs Club. There's a place in Innebrook called the Downstairs Club, a long staircase like this. And we did a gig there, and Billy came to watch us, and we had my mother's car. At the end of the gig, we packed up all the stuff. We couldn't find the car keys. I'm panicking like hell because this is my parents' car. When we came out the gig, we had a parking right in front of the club. Somehow we got the parking there. And not like these days in South Africa, the car keys were hanging in the boot. And the car was still there. And off we picked up all the gear, all the way home. And so I have that memory. And as I say, he was a real gent. In later years, I went out for coffee with him once or twice. He wasn't keen on going out to the public places, but he did. And we chatted for a long time. And I would just like to say that nobody understands how fantastic Spanny and Mickey have been to Rick, and what a pair of angels they were with this man. And I'm sure he will rest in peace, and Spanny and Mickey helped that a lot. And as I say, may he rest in peace.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Spanny? No, nothing. Okay. So, well, that concludes it. But I think I just got another little story I very quickly tell you. Yes. Nicholas Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, you need to understand the relationship between frequency, vibration, and energy. Now, Rick was always tuned into the frequency and vibrations, but the energy bit part, yes, he got into it a bit. Once we started having energy channels, you know, he's looking at solar energy, he's looking at everything. He decided that he's going to tap into this greater cosmic consciousness and find out how to solve our energy problems. So I said to him, Rick, have you ever done physics before? So he said, no, he didn't really do physics. I said, yeah, you know, it's not as simple as it seems. I said, you need to be aware of, first of all, some of the laws of thermodynamics. For example, energy cannot be created or destroyed. I don't know if you know that. It can only be transformed. And I said, if you look at the basic fundamental interactions that we have, you have nuclear, you have the nuclear force, you have the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, electromagnetic force, and then you have gravity. He says, I understand gravity, you know. It's always pulling me down. So Rick designed, just from these thought experiments and meditation, he wrote a whole book and a whole design on his energy, gravity energy generator.
I saw that.
Which I then try to help him get, you know, some guys peer review and look at the feasibility of it. I know Martin Sack even got him in there with Elon Musk, but he didn't pursue it. So I think that document is still there to be found on his computers somewhere. Rick's energy, you know, gravity energy generator. Okay, so that concludes it. Thank you very much for coming, and once again, thank you very much to the Spangenberg family for their generosity and everything they've done for Rick and for hosting this celebration of Rick's life. Thank you. Thank you. My brother.
Mark?
Thinking about this all